So here we are in video 3 of the arrangement week 3. Now we're actually going to start looking at your own track, so make sure you have your own track open up your project, and you should be looking at something like this. So if you've done everything as planned according to the previous weeks, you should have your little drum beat here, which we made in the first week, with all the corresponding sections of the track all named properly. Then you should have the bass and the lead, which you made last week and the second week. You might have more elements as well. You might have chords, you might have piano, violin, whatever it might be. They should all be sitting here. And they should all be structured in a way that you have pretty much the entire song kind of laid out in a vertical fashion like this, with it all named properly as well. So I've made this amazing little track in the last 5 minutes just to show you how to bring your track across to arrangement. So I've got my little intro. It's just the kick and the bass. And I've then got my verse, which has my lead as well. I then go into a build-up. And into a drop. Then I've got my little alternate drop. And then I made a little breakdown as well. So just a funky little groove there. This is purely for example purposes, but yours should look something similar like this if you've been following up to now. So you should be able to hit play on the right here and hear that specific part of your track. Because we've just done the build exercise, if you wanted to go in now and actually do a little build up, you can do that before we jump into this. I just did exactly what I showed you in the last exercise and just builds up the claps. And yeah, you can hear how we can have quite different sounding parts of the track, even just using the same sounds. By tweaking the tempo and changing the beat patterns and the melody, it all counts towards giving us those different parts of the track. So if you don't have your track laid out like this in the session view, I do recommend maybe pausing the video here. That way you can go back, lay it all out how you want to. You might have seen some things that I've done, which you want to incorporate into yours. And then, yeah, come back once you're ready and we'll get started. All right, so what we're going to do now is actually take this complete song idea that we've got and we're going to bring it into arrangement view. Now, the reason why I wanted you to work in session view for so long, for these last few weeks, because now I'm going to show you an easy way to bring all of your ideas into arrangement in a really quick and simple manner. So we're going to come over here to our session view. Now what we're going to do is we're literally going to record all of this into our arrangement view here. So the way we do that is we hit record up here. Doesn't matter what we have armed. We're going to hit record up here and we're going to hit play on our first scene. Now the way we're going to do this, the way I'm going to do it, is I'm going to hit play as if I was playing my track at full length. So I'm going to sit here, play the intro for, let's say, 16 bars or whatever. Then I might play the verse for another 8 bars, the build up for another 8 or so, and then play the drop. So I'm literally going to play the entire track as if I was listening to it as a song. Okay, so I'm going to hit record and I'm going to play my first bit. Okay, now I'm going to switch to my verse. now I'm going to switch my build. And the drop. Now my alternate drop. Let's go 4 more bars. And now my break. Now I'm just going to build it up again. And into a drop. Alternate drop. Let's play out 4 more bars. What I might do is actually just use my intro as an outro. And I'm going to hit space for stop, or you can hit stop as well up here. So now what exactly has that done? You're probably not going to see it to start with, but if we hit tab or hit these lines to go to our arrangement view, you'll see now that our entire song has been recorded into the arrangement view. So all those patterns that we recorded have come straight in here. Now you can see how it's all grayed out. That's because it's still playing what's in the session view. So if this little orange box is lit up, so to move into the arrangement view and start working in here, we have to hit this. And now we're back in the arrangement view. Now you can see it's all activated. So if I play this out now and scrub along here, you can see it's recorded it in exactly how we played it in the session view. We've got our drop, our break. Went straight into the build again, and then straight into a drop, and back into our outro. So you can see here I went over time a little bit. I'm just going to drag those back and just clean it up a little bit. But apart from that, it's all on time, it's all on beat because we used that method. And so what we can do now is, if there was something that you recorded that you didn't like, now we can just start shifting the track around really. Start doing what you want, start arranging it exactly how you want it. So you can come in here, add parts, you can add MIDI clips. If you didn't like a certain section or you want to add some more to it now, come in and draw exactly what you want. If you forgot to do a build up, you can do the build up now. If you are using a build up, that is. So pretty much now you have entire flexibility of changing your track as a song as a whole. So if there are sounds that you forgot to add in the session view, that's fine. You can just add more MIDI clips, exactly like what we did over here. Or you can add more audio clips, whatever you want, vocals, whatever you want to add to your song. This is now where the time to do it. Another thing I'd like you guys to do is to start adding locators and get used to using those. So what I'm going to do is just name this intro. As I showed you all with the first video when I was showing the structures, I had them all named and tagged properly. We're going to do the exact same thing but with our own tracks. So just come in here, name all these parts. So these aren't just visual representations either. If you're playing your track and you want to skip to a certain part, you can just hit play up here. So you can come to the verse, the drop, And you can skip around your track really quickly and precisely by using these locators. So that's essentially how to get your idea from the session view into arrangement the quickest way. If you want specific parts from the arrangement view, what you can do is just hit Command C or Control C to copy. So you want this bass line here. Come back to the arrangement view, and then you can just paste it, and it will paste that MIDI clip for you. So now that we've actually done that, it's probably a good time for you to jump in and get some work done. I'm sure there's a lot that you want to do to your track now that it's in a song format, and that's all laid out like this, where you can see it as an entire track. There's probably bits that you want to smooth out or bits that you want to change. So yeah, that was essentially it for this lesson. I'm going to let you get to work on that because I'm sure you've got a lot of ideas bouncing around now. And it does take a while to get from, a recorded thing from our session view to a full polished track. But this is, especially for people beginning in Ableton, this is kind of the easiest and most pain-free way to start building a track. And this way you can actually see your track, how it's structured. And this way you don't actually get stuck listening to the same loop over and over back in the session view, or even if you make an arrangement, you make this little chorus that you love listening to and you just loop that over and over again and it never turns into a full track. This way it sort of forces you to take your ideas from here and actually structure out an entire 3+ or whatever minute, however long your track is. That way you can see it as a whole, and now you can start editing it as a whole instead of being stuck with a little 10-second loop. So I found this way is the most productive way to work, especially when starting out. So hopefully that's made sense. Hopefully you've managed to record yours in and set it out like this. Like I said, yeah, set up those markers. Feel free to now go in and polish it up a little bit, smooth out any bits that aren't working. Just listen to it as a track. If it sounds a bit jerky or janky, see what you can change pattern-wise to kind of smooth those bits out. So yeah, that's it for this lesson. You've probably got a bit of work to do now that we've got our track into arrangement view. So I'll let you do that, and I'll see you in video 4 for our last session of the week.